So this evening we will be doing the air signs. That's going to be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So I think they have karaoke at the bar on the other side of our apartment on this night, perhaps. So if you hear that bleeding through, it's because people are having a good time, and I support that. This week, just like last week, I'm going to be using the Alleyman's Tarot. And I kind of just jumped in before, but now I can go back and cross-reference the meanings and get even further symbolism and divination out of them. It's a very versatile deck. I've been excited to work with it. It's a wonderfully constructed deck. Alright, so we will start out with the sign of Gemini. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, etc., etc. And Gemini, if you would, just kind of relax and let your... Oh, thank you, Maria. I just washed it earlier today. Thank you for coming. It's good to see you. I also want to mention here at the top of the live stream that I will be doing a dream interpretation live stream immediately following this. Well, there's going to be the members live stream in between, and then around 10 p.m. I'll be doing the dream interpretation live stream. All right, Gemini, so if you would like, go ahead and set your intention for the reading. I will be done shuffling the cards shortly. Oh, nice. I'm glad to hear that, Maria. It's always so nice to dedicate and compartmentalize one's space. So, Gemini, now I'm going to pull your cards. I already know that the Magician is your card. Alright. These ones these ones. How many do I have? Pull a few more from the very bottom of the stack. Okay. And let me put down the timestamp. Okay. So first, we have the King of Coins and the Alley card coming out reversed. Now, King of Coins in reverse can be someone being too stuck in their ways, too dedicated to ideas that are no longer relevant in the current environment. And the Alley card, I'm actually going to look up in the book and make sure I don't miss anything about the meaning. Let's see. Where would it be, I wonder? 168, maybe. Okay. I don't want this to take too long. I won't do this for every card. But I want to see if I can find this particular one. Here we go. Okay. This is a personal one, sorry. I spend most of my time in alleys in various places, at various times, in various other places. Literal world hopping. Alleys are so homey. It's where people pass on secret shortcuts. It's where side entrances are to most anywhere. It's where you go to hide, to sleep. It's where the trash accumulates. It's all the unintended mistakes and side effects of having a society. Damn. Maybe this is just me, but when I meet people here, they are the ones I'm supposed to meet at the time I'm supposed to meet them. It feels like the place where things happen, where they come together just right. In a strange sort of way, I think of it as my community, a place where everything belongs if there's nowhere else to be or go. In the reverse, it could be about abandonment and being truly alone and forgotten. Could be. The best utensil is a spork, by the way. So we could read the reversals of these, but in this particular case, because these are early cards in the reading, I'm going to read this as reversals because we're looking at something from the past. So King of Pentacles could be an earth sign person, could be somebody who's very financially stable, could be a benefactor, could be an employer. And then the alley would have been a place of commerce, a place where people came together, a place where anything can get done that needs doing. So this could have been a previous workplace, or it could have been a previous living situation as well. Let's see what we have here. The 8 of weenie roasts and the 9 of clocks. 9 of clocks can be about running out of time or having a surplus, an abundance of time as a resource as well, depending on whether it's upright or reversed. the 8 of weenie roasts, we could have a quick ending coming in to something. Be a group project. So then you, as the masterless knight, will be untethered to do whatever it is that you would like to do. It looks then very much like this was a work situation or a collaborative situation, that the contract is coming to a close. And you'll all be moving on to different projects. Gemini, I think you might have had some kind of supervisory role, and you're deciding that you would prefer not to have that much control over the situation. We have the wild hunt. So some kind of spectral situation in which we are gleaning spirit, energy, or souls. I wanted to see too if that hand of the hunter would come out with that card, but it hasn't in this particular reading. All right, so we have a couple more reversals. We have this change of circumstances that somebody might have been in a very disadvantaged place, and the bottom falling completely out ended up being what created new opportunity coming through. We see here with the one of, or the ace of accordions. And there is actually a name for this kind of accordion. Let me see if I can find it. If I can't find it quickly, I won't take up too much time. Bandoneon. It's the accordion they use in tango music. So the dance, the heart and the feet made light. These two cards then very much talking about a spectral hunt in the sky, something very fanciful. This is going to be hopes and dreams coming true with that star card. And we also see the shooting star, which reinforces these themes of being spectral and astral. We have the High Priestess and the 10 of Eyes reversed. So there could be an end to some secrets coming out. The 10 of Eyes, you will be less exposed. So the High Priestess is a very solitary figure and very secretive. So this could be a situation where you are preparing yourself for public scrutiny. This could be a job interview process. It could be, if your hopes and fears have to do with attaining a new level of success, that might bring fame. And so you're going to have to leave behind your secrecy. I beg your pardon, excuse me. So we have also the 8 of Pentacles in the upright. The next opportunity that you have coming through, Gemini, is going to have the potential to be much more long-term. We have the Devil reversed. This could be recovery from illness. We have the Builder and the Hanged Man coming out together, and these two have a very similar art style. It looks a little bit like that animated movie Mad God, also very similar style to that. So the Builder can be a little bit like the Magician, someone who is manifesting. But we also have this Hanged Man, that there's some kind of stasis involved in that too. So there's building, 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 but there's also a certain amount of stasis. We do have this evolving to death. This Devil card reversed could also be getting rid of bad habits that would be getting in the way, that would be creating stagnant energies. So then we have a completion. So then that cycle will have ended when that transformation takes place. After this, we have the Page of Wands coming out with a letter. And the letter has to do with messages coming in, can be in writing, can be email. The Page of Wands is an enthusiastic and young energy. We are making our passions manifest in the physical plane. The Four of Pentacles reversed, so releasing material resources either too slowly or not slowly enough. There's either too much letting go or too much clinging. Oh, Giuseppe. Now I'm going to stop right now to pull the 3 cards because sometimes I forget. And I don't want to disappoint Giuseppe. He loves to pull cards. So, 1, 2, and 3. All right. So the bonus round, there is King of Pentacles in the reverse. So that situation is past. For we have the King of Coins and the alleyway. It looks like that situation is well and truly over. There's some disappointment associated with that, but the weird ass mystical shit card is also coming out. So there might have been a lot of work that you were able to do in that situation. What do we have coming out next? We've got 5 cards left for your reading, Gemini. We've got the Knight of Wands, so the next cycle is going to come in quickly. The Page of Cups and the Sun card are coming out reversed. So it's never bad to see the Sun card in a reading, even when it's reversed. This Page of Cups, though, in the reverse, the Page of Cups can be an offer, either an emotional offer, but can also be an offer of a gift or a support, which might be something that would make the situation more ideal. And finally, we have Osito showing up in the reading, and we have the Joker showing up reversed. There's things that you're not yet ready to exercise your free will about, especially because if it would be much, much easier if you had support offered and things are moving very quickly. What you might need to let go of is a need for privacy. And there is also the aspects of this higher plane of being. So even though the previous situation has ended, that journey, that part of your journey is going to continue, the wild hunt. I'm going to look up this card with the dog. Oh, this must be Ace of Hounds. Hold on. Yes, the hound is domesticated, but still all teeth and nose. A hunter at its core. The Ace of Hounds reminds you that you have teeth to bite with and senses that feed your instinct. You need to let go of all that overthinking and just crawl on the ground like a beast. Figure it out with your claws. The world has clear meaning when you're hunting. Nuance dies there between your jaws. Be wary. Someone may be lording over you in this card, your owner, who is letting you think you are this raw beast. In reverse, this card is explicitly about the domestication angle. But of course, this has come out in the upright. So, So it is rather like what I have said before about this card, that normally Osito is a very good dog. Sometimes you'll hear him in the background in the readings, howling like some hellhound, even though he's a very fluffy dog, very fluffy, a little bit like this build. That exercising of the free will, but also the choice of loyalty. So the final thought on that is that that loyalty is the missing ingredient in this situation for you, Gemini. That perhaps people are being allowed to, or are not pursuing their free will. Their free will might even be about loyalty. But of course, this is a general reading, so it might look different in all of those situations. That in some cases, the person's loyalty has capped their free will, and in other cases, the free will and the loyalty are in harmony, and in even other cases, that that the free will and the loyalty can coexist and are completely unrelated. But that, of course, is going to have to rely on choices previously made. All right, so that is going to conclude the Gemini reading for this week. I will be going over to the members side of the channel after the conclusion of this broadcast, and I will be doing smoke scrying using cassia bark this evening. If that interests you, you're cordially invited. But of course, your presence here on the channel, whether you're just watching, whether you're liking, sharing, subscribing, ringing the little bell so you get notifications when I go live, all of these things are so greatly appreciated. Appreciated. I have to get my beverage. I get that lemonade kombucha from Costco, and I put some matcha powder in it, and it's very lovely. Okay, so next, I beg your pardon, it is that seasonal time of year when I have allergies. So, Libra, if you would, go ahead and set your intention. We have the Six of Wands and the Empress coming out, jumping out. The Empress can sometimes be your card through that Venusian association, the planetary energy of Venus coming through with that card. Passivity in our partnerships. Yes, Libra, go ahead and set your intention. It was my plan all along to have you set an intention for this reading. Fallen right into my trap. My ASMR trap. So, oh good, they're going to start honking their horns outside. I love when they do that when I'm trying to give readings on the computer. I'll be done shuffling the cards soon, Libra, I promise. Okay. Here we go. Almost there. All right. Okay, Libra. Let's pull some cards for you. That's a good chunk of cards. Here's some more cards. Yeah. Great. Let's see what we have here. Whoa, mama. got a lot of cards for you today, Libra. We'll see how many of these you get through. Spoiler alert for the ending. There is going to be walking away from something, Libra. So if you just need the TLDR on that, walk away. If you want an explanation, if you demand that I explain myself, then let's get into it. Yeah, okay. We've got Justice, the Two of Swords, the Fountain. So there was a choice made to balance things out, and especially in regards to one's emotional states, how much one gives to others. We have the House of God, the Tower. So that could have caused a lot of disruption in your existence, Libra. We have your card coming out strong right in the beginning of the reading. And that can be a little intimidating. Very much in your energy, very much working on yourself. I'm going to look up this guy. Seven of Bells. Because I want to make sure that I'm starting to get the meanings correct. These cards. The creatures of the wood would make you one of them. At the chime of the bell, you are being transformed into something you are not, gone solid from the inside out. Your life does not feel like your life anymore. You have been made into something other people need you to be. You have taken on the needs of others far before your own. This is folly. Push it to change. Once more, you can return to yourself if you find what made you this way and confront it. So, this very much could be like how I have been interpreting it of the Melphite man and the seven voices. That we have this infinite energy of source, but we are sacrificing ourselves for that greater good. And because you did this during a time of crisis, when you should have been bringing balance into your own life, it kind of caused things to go topsy-turvy. So we have the Dark Sun card coming out here. Not that it's bad, just that it's like the bizarro version, perhaps, rather than the version that you wanted. This could have been then losing a job in a creative field, potentially. This would have been a past event. This is not something currently going on. It could be also cutting ties with somebody who is involved in communication. Like if you can't communicate with the communicator, is that a you problem or is that a them problem? We have payment coming out. I'm going to look up payment because reading that card kind of bothers me sometimes. So now I can go back in and start filling in all the gaps. 111. The king of subjugation is exactly as you would believe him to be. He subjugates. It's what he does. The only question here is whether you are the subjugator or the subjugated. More likely you feel at the control and whims of another, as placing yourself as payment is some expert hubris. You are no demon king. Sometimes it's hard to accept that other people control massive parts of our destiny, but that's inevitable when we're kids. We work at a job where someone directly has say in how many hours of work you get, how much pay you get, what you deserve and don't. When you realize what the strings are that they pull, you know what you need to cut to be free. So that would be a good card to see in conjunction with the Joker card too. But here we're looking at how we are subjugated to others. This could be a little bit like the 10 of Wands too, where we're talking about burdens and oppression. So think about it in terms of that also. And I do see that where you've subjugated yourself to other people and it's caused things to not work out because they never appreciate it. Just like this fair maiden playing this harp on that rock. Because that card's showing up reversed. All right, we've got you coming out again. So this is going to begin the next cycle for you, Libra. We have 4 of Swords reversed, that you might not be getting enough rest or self-care. We also have the 5 of Mirrors reversed, that people might have, that there might be like constraints that you are casting off at this time in regards to self-image. So where I would see the 5 of Mirrors come out reversed might have to do with body dysmorphia, but it could also have to do with the idea that you have in your mind about who you are as a person. But these would be traits that would be readily available in a casual interaction. This wouldn't be like the deep lore. That could be like even nervous tics or things like that. But you're shedding those things at this time. Because we have the Devil card showing up reversed too. So it looks like you're kind of getting rid of a lot of bad habits. So maybe some of you Libra are like nappers. You take too many naps or you sleep when you're depressed. We all do it. I'm not judging. But all of those things are what has been keeping you stuck. So that's why it's all coming out reversed with the Hanged Man, because you're addressing these things in the second part of this cycle. And we have the Wheel of Fortune coming out, so there's going to be a turn to your favor. Yeah, a lot of cards about introspection. So we have this Mirror card coming out as well, but this is going to be like trends of the past. How you have interacted with like different things throughout the culture of which you're a part in the past. Like, how have you interacted with social media? How have you interacted with technology? How have you interacted with music? How have you interacted with all of these different things? And how have those things become a reflection of who you are? Because that isn't who you actually are. We have, this is a trickster devil. This devil is 14 instead of 15 and has a lot of disguise and weird body stuff going on. So I'm going to look up this particular devil card because I'd like to know more about it. So I have to figure out what card this is. And I promise that won't take too very long. After all, I'm not looking up every single card. Just where I think it might be important. Yeah. This is going to make him tricky to find, too, right? Because we don't know what his real number is. So this might be one of the... Oh, here we go. Here he is. The devil with snakes for dicks. Imagine being this fine with having your junk out and also your junk is several snakes. Truly incredible. This is comfort in your life, comfort in your sex, comfort in your body and desires. The man who catcalls with no shame, the woman who walks the streets with her 6-inch heels, already taller than everyone else. That kind of comfort in your presentation and material relations to yourself and others can, at its worst, lead to unabashed rudeness or cruelty. Believing it to be just the kind of person you are, or it can lead to complete and utter confidence. But as a devil, this card always has the possibility of going too far. A person who is so elite that they're snide and cruel. A person reclaiming their sexuality, but who then treads on another's consent. So, you could think of that as the sin of pride, and also possibly the sin of lust tied together. We are shedding these old things, Libra, but it's important to not then turn around and swing too far in the other direction just because you've hit a good patch. Because then we have the King of Swords coming out reversed. This can often be you in the deck. So mind that you are not coming out in your detriment when you do have this change of fortune. We have the Page of Cups now coming out in the upright. So an offer could come in. We have Death reversed. Then the Two of Wands upright, so planning. But then we have the Hawk Moth reversed. And then we have the Keeper of Swords upright. So that could be you, Libra, represented in the reading. And to me, what this looks like is that there's a lot of plans being made for drastic transformations. And this is not just you making plans. This is like everyone in your surroundings. It could be something in the workplace too. So it looks like there's a couple of cycles leading up to this. There hasn't really been a lot about career, but there has been a lot about you sacrificing parts of yourself because you don't feel worthy or deserving. And so this presents a situation that has the potential for you to try to diminish your own needs or make yourself small. But I see that that's not what is going to happen in this particular time because of what has come through with these other cycles. So this time through, you're going to maintain, Libra. And you have a lot of great
Libra energy coming out throughout the reading. So we have these two high priestesses in the reverse, and they're bringing through the energy of the lone and level sands and of the whole. The whole is like a void. The lone and level sands is like the eternity of time. So the entirety of everything that's ever existed and will ever exist versus the eternal void. And this is being brought through by these two high priestesses. This could be like a light and dark energy, matter versus antimatter. These could be people, but there could also be a struggle that's going on inside of you between light and dark, and that, or rather, fullness and emptiness. Fullness and emptiness. But that you're keeping it secret because there might be aspects of it that are very difficult for you to reconcile. You don't want the people around you to be worried about you. Again, making sure that you're not diminishing the self. So because all of that is showing up reversed, you're being invited to confide in others. Maybe even seek out therapy if you feel like it's appropriate. Likewise, these high priestesses could represent people, but I'm really getting more the sense of it being like a dichotomy. And as a Libra, the high priestess is not your card, but there is a lot going on with dichotomy with Libra. So that's how I'm going to leave it in this reading. Next, we have strength coming out. So this is Leo's card. Leo is a fixed sign in the major arcana. That does have to do with the infinite power of source. We have the Queen of Ravens coming out. So having to do with communication, but also with harbingers. And the truth coming out about such things. This could be even this situation of fullness and emptiness. There could be truths coming out about that is related to this Queen of Ravens. Because this strength card is also like following that. All of that might be tied together. And the Queen of Ravens can also be you, Libra, coming out in this reading. Be similar to the Queen of Swords. But this time you would be showing up in a more passive energy. 9 of Games. This is reminding you to take time for yourself, for pastimes, and for fun. That's one of the things that came out before, is that you might be needing to take more leisure time. Getting quality of rest rather than quantity, maybe. The 3 of Books. This is kind of like a depicting where the knowledge might exceed the grasp of the students in some way. We've got this dog trying to teach turkeys, who are notoriously dumb. He's trying to teach them how to read the alphabet. So there might be a steep learning curve on something. And it might even be having to do with some kind of pastime that you do. That there's a steep learning curve between doing it as a hobby and doing it professionally. But we have that transformation coming through. This time, the Death card has blood on the scythe. And some of that print even comes through on the back of the card. You can see there. This is not going to bring a new beginning necessarily, because you've already been through this before. We've already gotten to the point where we understand all of this. We have the Three of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Five of Swords, all coming through in the upright. So these odd number swords are very difficult energy to deal with. Can be conflict, hurt feelings, trauma. And it looks like this is happening, Libra, because there might have been a situation where one person was interested in one thing and one person wanted a deeper emotional connection. And therefore, because there was that split in the desires of the two parties involved, excuse me, and this doesn't have to be a love relationship either. This can be any situation where somebody is offering an emotional exchange and the other person just wants to have control in the situation. But the iconography in this particular part of the reading does direct itself toward romantic relationships. We have the Alley Man coming out reversed. The Alley Man is the demiurge of this deck, the creator of the deck, and is a character who really has their hands in every part of a situation. And so where we see this reversed in reference to this particular conflict, whatever this situation represents, it's saying don't do that. It's not your business. Even if it seems to concern you, it might not actually have anything to do with you in this case, because it looks more like someone who's just trying to have control in a situation. And we do have, cards from previous in the reading. Just make sure that you're staying on your upright path, Libra, which I believe you are, because the next card that we have coming out is the King of Swords. And another transformation, this one, long-term financial solvency. So Seven of Cups reversed, there's illusions. We have the last round, the Happy Squirrel. We have the Storyteller reversed, telling me lies, tell me sweet little lies. This guy always making up stories, which is a very antithetical energy to you, Libra, but this might fill your head with too many possibilities. And remember, coming back to this card, of one's power, not surrendering one's power. This is going to be kind of the make or break deal for you, Libra. This squirrel has access to the almighty power of the divine, and that is resulting in these forest fires. Do you consider yourself competent to wield this change as a weapon of efficacy in your life? We see the King of Swords come out, we see the Justice card come out, but we didn't see the Ace of Swords. We did have the Fountain card, which is kind of like the Ace of Cups, that came out very early in the reading.
That was enormous, Libra. That was a huge reading for you this week. So that is going to conclude the Libra reading. And now I'm going to move on to the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. And Aquarius, if you would like, go ahead and set your intention for the reading. Do have a jumper. We have the Magician jumping out. So this is a Mercurial card. Can be associated with Virgo or with fellow air sign Gemini. Yeah. Oh, we have another jumper. I hope that wasn't too loud. Which is the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is a card about offers coming into you. This would be an offer that brings in financial resources specifically. So it could be a job offer, it could be an investment opportunity, something like that. All right. Okay. And I will be done shuffling your cards very soon, Aquarius. Very soon. All right. So let's pull some more cards for you. Some from there. Some from there. Some from there. And just a little bit more. Just a few more cards, Aquarius. Just a few more cards. All right. These three off the top. Okay. So somebody's manifesting this financial opportunity at this time. Update that timestamp. There we go. Spoiler alert for the ending, we have the Page of Wands. And this is the Page of Wands that has this kind of pastoral love hunting scene on the back. So we have a lot of hunting motifs throughout this deck. And that idea of conquest kind of showing up in some different forms, in this case, in the form of love and one's emotions. And the Page of Wands having conquered those feelings. That is coming out with Wound Man and the Six of Pentacles reversed. So the Six of Pentacles reversed being more money going out than coming in at a particular time.
but the reminder that this is an ebb and flow process, and sometimes it takes money to make money. But this might really be putting you out at this time, Aquarius. You're very passionate about it. So mind that you have a realistic expectation and don't get too excited and then lose sight of the resources that you really do have at your disposal. This could be a long-term situation with the Page of Pentacles. That's what this Eight of Pentacles here represents, a long-term situation, usually for material gain. But there's going to be a lot of competition. We have that with the Five of Wands here. So it could be a very competitive field. There might be some delays with this transformation coming through with the manifestation. And the Nine of Swords is showing up reversed about that. So it's saying, don't worry about seeing that transformation. We have the Queen of Swords coming out. So this is you potentially showing up in your reading, speaking your truth. So you could be not talking about the concerns that you have regarding this transformation and the manifestation that you're putting into place. We have the Lover's card coming out again. So this is Gemini's card. This one is an especially affectionate Lover's card. So some of them I feel like it's more about the choice. This one I feel like it's more about the aspects of the twin self, the ways in which we are mirrored in each other. And that is something that you are going to have to bring awareness about. And especially because there's a lot of competition and people tend to be blinded by that here in ways that causes them to take advantage of others. That Eight of Pentacles. That you might feel like it's difficult to escape from the situation because of the competition and because people aren't seeing each other as individuals, but as targets. We have the Two of Wands and the Sun card coming out reversed. So this is reminding you strongly in this situation, Aquarius, not to plan for the ideal situation. It's important to plan for the situation that you're currently inhabiting. And then we have this Jawbone card coming out with the poetry on it and the map. This is kind of like the Moon card. I think the moon is mentioned in this poem. Straight cutlass of fire. That would be like the little sliver of moon you might see in the sky. And so the jawbone has been kind of placed on the card in a way that can mimic that, but it's a very abstract card. So things might be very abstract right now, very dark, very obscure. And that's why it would be very difficult to plan using that ideal circumstance, which is going to be a non-starter. So we have this Ace of Swords coming out reversed. And that's about you making changes. So because things are too unclear, I feel like you're not ready to start that process because you feel like you can't plan for your ideal situation. And so it's almost impossible to start that process. You have conserved your resources for this time, and you have the resources that you need for this transformation. And this is, if you look at how this is coming through, it's almost like paying for a stay at a hotel. So there could be travel or mobility of some kind tied up in this. But I also have the Fool coming out reversed with the Knight of Cups coming out reversed. All of these together, it might be urging you to be careful of emotional offers that you get while you're traveling also at this time, Aquarius. That it might be used tactically, or that it might be something that would distract from this situation too much. It's going to distract from your wish fulfillment with the Nine of Sweeties. So you're being tested on that. This is kind of like, I see this like dangling the carrot, so to speak. And then we've got the Time Machine coming out with the Tradition reversed. So Tradition is kind of like the Hierophant in that it's all of these things that we have built up as a culture. And because we have the Time Machine here, there might be certain traditions that have been handed down, and like a game of telephone, they've changed too much over time. And now we have to get in the time machine and go back to the origin of that particular ritual or tradition to bring it back to a point of purity. And this is going to be a good closure. This is not going to be, it's specifically having the World card and the Ten of Swords coming out like this, where the Ten of Swords is reversed. That we're going to have a good, solid ending to this situation that will not be painful or stressful. It will be a victory. And again, with the Battle card is kind of like the Chariot, so there are implications of mobility in that. The Ace of Wands, so gaining power in this situation. We have the King of Swords coming out in the upright. That could be you coming out again in the situation. Often that's Libra's card. But it's showing up with the Queen of Wands reversed, that you might have a very balanced and moderate point of view, but that you don't feel confident putting yourself out there. And in fact, we have this coming out with the Hermit card reversed, that there might be a lot of shyness and a lot of forcing oneself into social situations, and kind of a coldness that results from that. Six of Swords. So we do have travel coming out, and we're also using this travel to bridge the gap between ourselves and other people. So it could be physical travel, but it could also be the kind of cultural exchange that can occur through the internet. We have the Strength card coming out reversed with the gloaming. The gloaming is the time of day when the sun's light leaves that part of the earth for darkness. And because we have the Strength card reversed here too, that Moon card that was here, let's see where things were. Yes, okay. So where things are unclear, that is a weakness for you, Aquarius. And it's a weakness because it makes you feel like you can't plan adequately for the situation, which is what you want to do. But you're going to have to find a balance in that to be able to plan for things in baby steps. Both of these cards coming out at the end are very much about balance. Because remember that the final cards that we had is this. We have this enthusiasm, but maybe not the resources to back up the enthusiasm. So see if you can find that balance.
Maybe if you know a Libra or a Leo, you had the Strength card come out a couple times in your reading too, I think. So that is going to conclude the air sign general tarot reading for this week. I'm going to go now around 9:30 over to the member side of the channel and do some smoke scrying using cassia bark. If that interests you, you're cordially invited. But your presence here on the channel is greatly appreciated in whatever form it takes. And until we meet again, I look forward to seeing you